Well, it's been about a week since I took this Concord grape stuff and added let it ferment and become with the yeast, and it's been there for about a week now. I'm gonna test it real quick to see if it really is done. Still kind of making a noise, but it might be fine now. I'm not really sure. Give me a moment here. I'm gonna loosen the lid slightly, and hopefully it doesn't fizz over like a exploded soda. Well, as you can see, it's still bubbling. I think my smaller container with a single pack may have been too much yeast production. Until that's ready, I won't go to the next step. I will transfer to a bigger bottle because the chance of it exploding are pretty much zero with the amount of content I have here. Let me try to reopen it just a little bit more. Wow, that is definitely a negative. Well, still a work in progress, I guess. Still got to transfer it to there, so I'm gonna go ahead and pause this and pour it, or so it overflows. It will just transfer to that one. I already screwed this up, so I'm not worried about oxygen at this point. So let me pause it and get it into there, so when I unscrew this, it just goes straight in. If you can hear that, I'm slowly releasing the CO2 buildup currently in there. It's the only way to pour it into this bigger container here. Let me go ahead and try to get the thing off entirely real quick and pour it in. As you can see, the CO2 from the yeast is still pretty strong. It's supposed to be a slow bubble, but this has been sealed for a long time. So what I need to do is get it into this bottle here, and then periodically open the top of it and shake it up. So I think it's been sitting too long and just being in this single container here. Hopefully at some point here it will slow down just enough where I can pour it in. Let's try it right now. Okay, I know you're not supposed to add oxygen, but then again, I didn't start this process normally anyways. It's like a fizzy soda right now. So what I'm going to do is dump this into the other one so that I don't get the weird foam up explosion because there's not enough liquid. So, give me a moment here. It's almost like trying to pour a soda into another container. Don't worry about the color. That's because of the tannin enacting with the yeast. Kind of gives it that brown color, I found out. Alright, what did I do with the lid? Give me a second. Good. Should be perfectly fine. As you can see, there's not very much place for the foam to go, and in a couple days it won't produce as much. Unfortunately, I misunderstood the whole step, and by the time I finish my journal, I'm going to have to amend it to be more than 3 months in a week. It's going to have to be like this until it no longer wants to fizz, at which point I can continue. This is what I'm going to be using to get rid of all the color, or the extra stuff from the yeast and grab everything. That's also to grab the extra tannin. Eggshell worked pretty well according to one YouTuber. So if I ground 2 dozen eggs, eggshells together, and pour it in as a powder. It shouldn't take that much room up, considering my container, and it should be pretty good. Alright. It doesn't look the best right now, but it does taste like wine. You're going to have to take my word for that, though. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and end this video now, put it back in the fridge, and periodically, once a day, come out, shake it up until it no longer bubbles. At which point, I can take it out, and once that happens, I can add an acid to, or freeze it to kill the yeast out of this. I think I might freeze it. That seems like the most plausible method for me at the moment. And once I apply this filtering agent, it doesn't add any flavor because it's eggshell. I will be baking this. I think it said at 350 degrees for an hour or something, which means I'll make some dinner and add some extra to the side on a cooking pan or a cooking sheet or foil, wrap it up or whatever. Get that going and then immediately pour it in after 1 minute of cooling. And with it being glass, it should be fine. I don't think thermal shock is going to be such a big problem. So, until then, I guess that's going to be the end of this video. I know there's been a huge lapse since this, and in a month or so, maybe more than a month and a half from now, I'll be starting the process with my other wines I made. And I may even try to do some mead or beer. Beers are the easiest. It's just bread and yeast with water and sugar. Or some sugar, not a lot. You don't want it sweet. I looked up the YouTube video for that one, and it's a lot more straightforward. Mead is a little bit kind of the same way with honey and adding honey after you're done and such. But I'll get to when I get to that. Anyways, thank you, and I'll be posting this.